If you're rocking with the U, then you know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button so you never miss out on a video. Also, guys, we're uploading a lot of content over on our Patreon page. So if you'd like ad-free content, exclusive interviews, and things that I can't put on YouTube, make sure you check us out on the Patreon page. Link will be in the description. And shout out to all our current Patreons right now on the Kane Gang Patreon page. But today I got Bill from Kane's Legacy and Kane's Insight. Bill, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excited. We got a big game coming up.
Big game, man. And let's get into this. What I'll be doing, guys, is just interviewing different people. I think a lot of people have different thoughts about how this game's going to go. So I want to talk to several different people, some people from the Clemson side, some people from Miami side, and get their opinion on the game. So let's start right off the bat. Bill, what is your biggest concern going into the game for our Miami Hurricanes?
That would be Travis Etienne. He's an absolute monster, not only just out of the running the ball, but catching the ball out of the backfield as well. You saw it with Virginia this past weekend, breaking tackles left and right. He's really just an all-around, do-everything type of back that's going to cause problems for us.
I agree, man. Did watching that? Did you watch the Virginia game this past week? Is what you said?
Yes.
Okay. Come after watching that Virginia game, are you more confident about our Miami Hurricanes or less confident?
Slightly more confident. They got up 24-3 in the second quarter, and they kind of were on cruise control a little bit. But you did see some things that gives me a little bit more hope. They really struggled with containing Armstrong, the quarterback for Virginia, who's not even close to the athlete that De'Ara King is. Virginia was able to hang around for a little bit. They made some plays. They kind of put a little bit of pressure on Lawrence. And when they did do that, you saw that he wasn't the elite quarterback. Still very good, but not elite.
Yeah, I feel a little bit more. I felt a lot better after watching that Virginia game because I feel like a lot of people look at our schedule and they say, you guys haven't beat anybody. And then I look at Clemson's schedule and I say, well, they technically haven't beaten anybody. And then, I start to look at both of the teams, especially after watching the last couple games. And I feel like a lot of people give Clemson the Clemson benefit of the doubt, which the past Clemson teams, they've earned that. But I feel like this year's team, I'm under the belief that Isaiah Simmons is going to go down as a one of the best versatile players that we've seen in college football. He's going to do great things in the NFL. I don't think that you could just replace a player like that. What do you think about that? And Clemson has to replace Isaiah Simmons. Do you think it's just an easy plug and play for those guys?
No, definitely not. Isaiah Simmons was, one of the freakiest athletes, probably in a generation, in terms of what he can do, lining up all over the field, covering, wide receivers, tight ends, playing on the defensive line, linebacker. He was doing everything, and I think they're really going to miss him in terms of trying to cover our tight ends. That's the one opportunity I see the most is that they don't have that one guy that can stick with Brevin or stick with Will Mallory. So that's going to be Venables' biggest challenge, I think, is finding a way to contain the tight ends without sacrificing too many resources, the run game, so that De'Ara King could take advantage.
So if, let's say, Rhett Lashley called you up and was like, Bill, how do you think we should attack this Clemson defense? Now, I just want to let people know Clemson gave up over 400 yards against Virginia, and I know you just can't say, okay, since they gave up 400 yards against Virginia, they're going to give up 400 yards to Miami. But I think you can look at some things like they weren't the greatest at tackling. They weren't as polished as the older Clemson teams, and they're a younger team than that. So if Rhett Lashley asks you, how should we attack this Clemson offense, what would you say? Or Clemson defense, what would you say?
I would say that, we're going to include a lot of wrinkles in this game, stuff we haven't shown before. And we're also going to play with as much tempo as humanly possible. The one thing, where Venables does struggle as a defensive coordinator is getting play calls in on time when the offense is moving fast. Virginia was able to do it a little bit, but you really saw it last year in the title game with LSU. They were able to catch Clemson, kind of slowing down a little bit out of position. So I think the faster we play, we can create some confusion, maybe enough confusion where we get a big play out of it. But early on, I would really use Brevin Jordan as a decoy and kind of feature Will Mallory. Venables is going to be keying on him, bracketing, double coverage, whatever he's going to do. He's going to try and take Brevin away early. And I think if we have some trick plays, maybe some wrinkle plays where we can get Mallory down the field a little bit, that could be an opportunity to get some points on the board.
Bill, if we woke up Sunday morning, let's say we woke up and we found out that Miami won this game, what will you say, what was one thing that had to have happened for Miami to win this game? Like, what's one thing that Miami has to do to win this game?
D'Eriq King has to have the game of his life. No matter, he's the type of player that no matter what Venables calls, if he calls the perfect zone blitz, confuses the offensive line, they have the coverage behind it. He's the guy that can slip out of the pocket, and sprint 40 yards down the field for a touchdown. Or he can, escape outside the pocket and then, find the open hole in the zone, make the big play. So if D'Eriq King plays the game of his life, I think, that means we won the game.
All right, so we're looking at D'Eriq King, the X factor, and I like that you said that because I feel like in college football there are certain games where one player can almost win you a game. I think in college football there's an X factor type player like a D'Eriq King, who, like you said, if he has the game of his life, can definitely make this happen. So one thing I would say that has to happen is I don't think we can turn the ball over. And when I look at if we look at these last three games, we've been good in that. But speaking of turning the ball over, one thing that's been a topic of discussion this week is punt returner. Are you confident in Mark Pope as the punt returner? And if you're not, who do we try back there?
No, I am not confident. Two fumbles in 3 games. That's a lot. The first game against UAB, first game jitters, you can kind of make an excuse for it. But that muff, the last one that you had where he ran about 25 yards up the field, only to miss it. That's inexcusable. He doesn't seem comfortable back there. Even when he does catch it, he's running a lot laterally, and I just don't think he has that game-breaking ability to kind of the risk versus reward with him back there. In terms of who should replace him with, that's a tough one because we really haven't seen too many guys back there. I would personally like to see Jalen Knighton get a shot. He has the wiggle. He has the speed to make plays, but we don't know if he can handle that because we haven't seen it. Gervin Hall's been listed second on the depth chart. He's out for the first half, and I believe all we've seen him do is fair catch the ball. So at least we know he can catch it. But we can't. If we have a muff punt against Clemson and give them essentially free points, we're not going to be able to come out with a W.
Right. And I put out a video earlier today, and this is just my train of thought. Tell me if this is the way that you should be thinking or not, but here's my train of thought. I feel like our offense has been proven to produce points. Now, I would love a punt return to the house, but I feel like we don't absolutely need that. So I would just want somebody back there that I know is going to either A, catch the ball, or B, get out of harm's way. Because I feel like if we get the ball in D'Eriq King's hands, we got a good chance of scoring. That's what we've done the last 3 games, right?
No, I'm with you. Turnovers, especially, on punts, where we're getting the ball back to D'Eriq King. We can't give them free possessions. I'd rather just have a guy fair catch it. Let's get the ball. Let's get the offense on the field and let's go. Mark Pope, he's not only just a risk, he's a liability at this point. And when you're facing teams as talented as Clemson, he can't be back there.
Man, I like Mark Pope, but when you say it out loud, 2 fumbles in 3 games, that is a lot. That is a lot. Um, Let me ask you this. I mean, coming into this game, what would you say? What advantages do Miami have in this game? Do we have any?
Yeah, I think we do. I think our defensive line is better. We're a little bit more experienced. And I believe that Rhett Lashley is an advantage over their offensive coordinator. I know that the OCs don't go against each other, but Rhett Lashley, at this point is probably top 3, top 5 offensive coordinator in the country. So he's a huge advantage. And then I think our safeties are better as well once Gervin Hall gets back on the field. Bubba Bolden is blossoming into one of the better safeties in the country. With Clemson losing Isaiah Simmons, they don't really have, kind of that dominant that they're used to. But Clemson, they have more advantages clearly than we do. But we do have some advantages, and if we could take advantage of those, exploit those, we're going to give ourselves a puncher's chance here.
I gotta tell you, Bill. When we talked a couple weeks ago, I was like, okay, we got Clemson, but now I think the feeling's in the air, Bill. I think the feeling's in the air for an upset. The more I look into it, and maybe I got my love for the Miami Hurricanes blinders on, but the way I look at it is, like I said, Clemson, this is a new team. They haven't had a breakout wide receiver yet. A lot of the plays that they made, it was a Travis Etienne breaking 6 tackles and going to the house. It was Trevor Lawrence using his legs. He did make an amazing throw to Amari Rodgers. That was good. But then the defense giving up over 400 yards. The defense, there was times in that game where I said, I'm watching the game and I'm saying, okay, it's going to be a quarterback run. The announcers are saying it's going to be a quarterback run. And Clemson still couldn't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling. Am I a little bit too hype, or how are you feeling about the game, Bill?
A couple of weeks ago, I had this game pegged as a definite loss, more on the blowout side than anything. But watching this team progress, watching Clemson, and don't get me wrong, Clemson's on paper, they're the better team. I still think they're a great team. I just don't think they're that elite force that they've been the last couple of years, and that's mainly because of kind of a step back in defense. But they do have Trevor Lawrence, number 1 pick, generational type talent at quarterback, and then they also have Travis Etienne, who can hit a home run at any time, and they're probably the best all-around player in the country. So they have those 2 X factors going for them. But Rhett Lashley, De'Ara King, there's potential there for them to exploit Clemson. The Clemson's linebackers aren't, these speedy NFL type. The one linebacker still wears a neck pad, an old school neck pad. So, if we can get to the second level, we can use our speed, create some gash plays. But Rhett Lashley is going to give us a chance, and De'Ara King is our X factor.
I like that. And this is something that if you followed Clemson is a team that they get better as the year goes. So their defense will get better as the year goes. So they're in week 3. And I think that's good that we're taking them on so early because, hey, they're starting to get revved up, but they're not in full throttle. So this Saturday, we'll see. There's been talk about rain coming into the game. There may be some rain. It may be a sloppy game. Does the rain help Miami or Clemson?
I think it helps Miami. We want to run the ball. We want to be physical. We want to, get Cameron Harris, Jalen Knight and Don Chaney into space. We have De'Ara King. So we have options. That's what we want to do. If it is raining and, significant rain, that's really going to hamper Clemson's passing ability with Trevor Lawrence, especially, driving the ball downfield. So we have the athletes to make it work. If it slows them down a little bit in terms of their passing game, that's only going to benefit us.
All right, Bill, I'll give you, you either can give me a prediction if you want to go out on the line, put your name on the airwaves and give us a prediction, or I'll let you get away with telling me how the game's going to go, how you think the game's going to go, and then letting us know if Miami will cover the spread, which is at 15.
I think Miami covers the spread. I actually got them at plus 16 as soon as the line came out, so I'm actually feeling pretty good about that.
Oh, man, easy money.
But I actually have 3 predictions. 1, what my head is telling me. 2, what my heart is telling me. Then I have another prediction about a member of our staff. But my head's telling me Clemson's a better team. They're just on another level. They win the game, kind of like a 44-33 type game. My heart's telling me this Miami team is different. We got the offensive coordinator, we got the quarterback, we got the momentum going, and we could win this thing 38-35 if things go our way. And then my one kind of off the wall prediction is that Blake Baker's not going to be the biggest fan of, or fans aren't going to be the biggest fans of Blake Baker on Sunday morning. Clemson's going to score points. That's just going to happen. They have too many weapons, too many playmakers. But Blake Baker's going to be on the Miami fans' naughty list, so to say.
So let's say Clemson goes out and they score 30, 40 points. Can we really blame Baker for that?
No, we can't. But our fan base was upset that UAB got 14. That we held Louisville in check for most of the game. They got a couple late touchdowns. But it's 2020. Spread offenses, especially when you're going against 5-star level talent, such as a Travis Etienne, such as a Frank Ladson, such as a Trevor Lawrence. So if we can hold on Clemson under 35 points, I think that's a great sign, and that's really going to give us a chance to win this game.
All right, and the last thing that when you were just talking, it came to my mind that I feel like one thing that a lot of people aren't talking about is I think Miami's going to be good winning the field position battle. Very confident in our punter, and I'm very confident that, hey, if we get across that 50, we may have 3 on the board with Borregales.
Yeah, that's like you said before about the weather. That's one area where it's probably going to hurt Miami, which I didn't even think of. But if it's a rainstorm, that's going to shorten his distance a little bit, so that could hurt us. But yeah, we definitely have the advantage on the special teams department in terms of kicker punter. Although if we are seeing Lou Headley quite a bit, that's not going to be a good sign.
Right. Hope we don't see Lou. But Bill, if we plan on doing the instant reaction right after the game, if you can join us, and
absolutely.
I appreciate you doing the preview with me. And man, I'm excited about this game. I got a good feeling. We'll see. We'll see. I got a good feeling, Bill.
You can smell it. It's coming.
Man,
it's coming. We're due.
I just want to say I agree. Like you said, win or lose, we'll see what happens. But I do not think, and I'm not a moral victory guy, but I just think this team is different. Where if we go out, we're gonna leave. I think we're gonna go out throwing, swinging, kicking, everything. The last 2 times we faced them, we didn't go out like that. We went out after one punch, and we were on the ring at the ring. Yeah, I think Saturday night is going to be a 12-round battle, and we'll see who ends up winning.
Yeah, this team's different, and I think kind of Rhett Lashley provides that spark. But knowing that we can score, that if it does get into a shootout, that actually might benefit us a little bit. But yeah, we're going out swinging. If Clemson ends up on top, that's okay. We're going to get another chance at them in December.
All right, my guy Bill, I appreciate you coming on, man. And Saturday, we'll talk to you Saturday.